Talk to Cassius. Conversations with today's icons from business, sports, and entertainment. I'm your host, Cassius F. Butts. Welcome back to another edition of Talk to Cassius. We are here today with another serial entrepreneur, Yolanda Owens, who is the founder of iwifresh. Something that's very different, something that's very unique, but something that's really almost in our background and necessary for our own health. Today, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Yolanda Owens. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here with us today. So, of course, people want to know, we were talking about this a little while ago. Tell us about iwifresh. What is iwifresh and how is it really beneficial to really just our health? And we want to know all about it. And of course, we want to know about you as well, but tell us about iwifresh.
Yes, iwifresh. iwifresh is a farm to skin spa, literally. What we do is we partner with local farms here in the Atlanta area where I handpick all my fruits and vegetables from the farm. I bring them back to the spa where I juice them and I mix them and I make skincare recipes. Wow. And then I take those recipes and I apply them to spa services. Wow. So we have veggie mani-pedis, veggie facials, herbal massages. Everything is made from fruits and vegetables from the farm. Yes.
Okay, so straight from the farm. When you talk about from the farm, that means like literally from the farm, like
literally, literally.
Okay.
I go pull the carrots up out of the ground.
Wow.
I take the carrots back to the spa where I juice those fresh carrots. Okay. And I mix them and I make this wonderful. I have one of my top sellers is called 14 Karat Glow. It's a face cream. So I make my face cream out of carrots. There's no artificial coloring. The orange actually comes from the carrot. There's no artificial fragrance. Everything is totally free, toxin free. And so iwi, which is I know going to be the next question, is what does iwi mean? Yes. And so iwi stands for it is what it is. Because whatever it is, that's what it is.
It's what it is.
That's what it is.
I can appreciate that. Now, of course, Yolanda, we have to take a step back first because you've got this fantastic product. A lot of people are talking about how it benefits them, how it benefits their skin, their health. But really talk about you as an entrepreneur first. What made you want to go and create iwifresh? I mean, you didn't just come up with this overnight, right? This is something that has been brewing for some time.
Absolutely. Talk to us my background, I have an engineering degree. So I worked in corporate America as an engineer. Okay. But I stepped out. The little girl in me was always this artsy, crafty person. But of course, my parents who loved me so much was like, that's cute, Yolanda. We want you to go to college and do what you need to do. So that's what I did. But even when I was in college, I had this burning desire to want to create these natural beauty solutions. My grandmother, I grew up with my grandmother who actually was a home remedy queen. Okay. And I had eczema as a little girl, and my grandmother would heal it with onions and garlics and collard greens. She would put me in the bathtub and make all these different crazy home remedy recipes, which actually healed my eczema. I was just smelling like chicken soup or whatever, but it healed me, our garlic soup. But I always knew the power of my grandmother creating these home remedies. Okay. And after I graduated from college and I was an engineer, my son had eczema. Okay. And I wanted to create a solution for him. And so I went off and went to all these dermatologists and bought all the top products off the shelf. And I realized that his eczema was getting worse. Oh, wow. So I ended up reverting back to grandma's. I was like, let me go back to grandma's recipe and let me create something that is like grandmother's, straight from the farm, all natural from the kitchen, but that I can tweak it that smelled a little better. Right. That wasn't smelling like garlic, So that's when my little mad scientist hat came in and I just started creating a solution and I started making products. And then before you know it, I started engineering my own skincare solution. Wow. And I left corporate America.
So this comes from really just a passion of having a challenge that you had as a child. You growing up like, okay, I got this. Then you have a child. And he has eczema. Yeah. And you're like, hey, I've got to fix this. I've got to solve this. And obviously you fix it with him as well too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I created iwifresh. That's when I created iwifresh.
I know several people who have challenges with eczema and would love to know more and more about that. We want to talk about that in the end, but I want to talk about iwifresh. Where are you located and talk about what are some of the things that we can imagine when we come in to visit you at your place?
Sure. Well, iwifresh, we're located in downtown Atlanta in Castleberry Hill, right by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I have been located there for 14 and a half years, which I'm so excited to say that. What you will find when you come to iwifresh is that it's not your traditional spa. We have so many people that will walk in Iwi and come back and like, is this a spa? And I'm like, yes, it is. But as you can see behind me, I'm actually at home. Love plants. So I have nature. There's a biophilic type environment inside of iwifresh. There's nature inside of my space. So when you come in, it's like you're walking into a garden, a farm. So it's not your typical spa. There's no chemical smell. There's no toxin smell. I mean, right now, because of COVID, we're wearing a mask. Everybody's got to wear a mask. But prior to COVID, pre-COVID, you didn't have to wear a mask because everything was all natural, toxin free. My staff is super, super friendly. I believe in really great customer service. So it's like a family. When you come in, it's like a garden, walking in your living room, walking in your home. That's what you will get at iwifresh.
Wow. So it sounds like to me, you really followed your passion.
Yes.
You've been educated from one perspective of how to run a business. You decided to take that same passion, determination to use it for yourself, and been doing it for almost 15 years now. Now you mentioned spa. Now, if that serves me correct, that means that there's a massage place there to help with your skin. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, let me say this. I've been doing iwifresh now as a total of 20 something years, but I've been in the location for 14 and a half. So we have a massages. So we have our herbal massages. Everything that I've done at Iwi, I do it in iwifresh way. So we take our fresh vegetables and our herbs and we try to infuse that into all of our services. So we use fruits and vegetables as a compressant for our massage. We make all the oils out of fruits and vegetables for the massage oil. On our mani-pedi, one of the things we did on our mani-pedi, we've always had a veggie mani-pedi, that we actually use fresh veggies, and we'll put like spinach leaves on the feet to hydrate the feet, hydrate the skin. We use fresh lemon and baking soda to exfoliate the bottom of the feet. We take pure aloe from an aloe leaf and we treat the cuticles with that. So everything has always been done in a very iwifresh way, I like to say,
So, Yolanda, can you talk to us about your suppliers? Because it sounds like you've got some really natural products. Where are your suppliers coming from?
From the farm. We use the Shamba Farm, which is over in East Point, East Point, Atlanta, off of Washington Road. It's Shamba Farm. Truly Living Well, we use that farm. So we have a couple of community farms that we use as our sources, that we go in and get all of our fruits and vegetables. And then if we can't source it from there, we go to the farmer's market.
So you use a lot of local small business. You're a small business yourself. You're an entrepreneur yourself. You're actually in a place where you're taking your product and you're saying, hey, you know what? I want to add value to me and my family, and I can do this for other people. Now, I want to go back to, you mentioned why you started to build this up, why it was important for you. But there's a lot of passion there. You talked about this coming from your grandmother. Do you ever take any of her old recipes in addition to the ones that you talked about, one with the the eczema? Yes,
I do. I have a serum. I have a 3-pack serum, face serum, and it's called your Veggie Soul Face Kit. And soul meaning that it goes back to soul, because I use collard greens, sweet potatoes, and black eyed peas.
Wow.
And I use them and I grain them. I turn them into a powder format, and I'm able to put them, infuse them into the product. So that's my Veggie Soul Kit that I honor my grandmother, because it has that soul food type feel that we're taking and we're putting onto the skin. And the other thing that brings passion for me is that when I started to do iwifresh, I have this engineering mind. So I'm one of those people that got to know how I got to take things apart, figure out how it's done. So when I decided to do this, I actually had to go and figure out, okay, I need to understand the skin. I need to understand the products that are on the market. So I went and I deep dive and did a lot of research. I went back and got my esthetician certification. I got some herbal certification and nutrition, because I really wanted to understand, what it was about skin and the products on the market. And during that process, I realized that the skin, of course, is the largest organ of the body. But what I really realized is that the products that are on the market there's no real FDA regulations on those. Okay. So a lot of the personal care and cosmetic products that are out there are full of toxins. And there's no FDA regulations to mandate that, because there's lobbyists out there to really keep that product going, because it's a $1 trillion billion industry. Okay. And so there's no real regulation out there. So a lot of consumers don't know that. We're not aware that the products that are out there for a personal care cosmetic line, they don't have to tell us. The manufacturers do not have to tell you what is in your product. So it can be from A to Z.
Right.
Yeah.
So and I'm sure that's something that at some point in time, we'll all get to the point where it is regulated, so we can find out what's in these products, because I'm sure each person is different, right? And your products are just for all ethnic groups too, right? It's not just for one particular, it's for everyone, right?
Everybody, skin, all skin. Any skin that you have, it's for all skin.
So, what I'd like to hear is that you're actually doing something that's adding value to people and how they feel about themselves. Yes. Two, something that they are showing their family members how this can benefit them as well too. And three, it's almost that entrepreneurial bug that I keep coming out. It sounds like it's been in the line of your business for some time, right? Tell us about your locations and where you're looking to go next, if anything that on the horizon.
Yes. Well, we was it last year, we actually are South Regional with Whole Foods. So we are the first farm to skin spa with Whole Foods Local here in Atlanta. We're at Ponce de Leon, West Paces Ferry, and Midtown. And we're moving to Alpharetta. But yeah, so we're excited to be in Whole Foods. We have just opened during the pandemic, literally during the pandemic. I had decided to open up a iwifresh farm wellness center over in Lakewood Heights community, by that Lakewood Heights amphitheater. My whole passion around that was that I wanted to bring healing and wellness to the community. I grew up in Atlanta. I grew up on Southside Atlanta. I grew up in Adamsville, and there was no, we didn't have anything. There was no wellness, no healing, nothing to promote, health for us. So it was really important for me to take the brand of iwifresh and to create this healing wellness space in Atlanta. And so I opened up a iwifresh Farm Oasis over in Lakewood. And that was literally before COVID. Okay. And then COVID got me in flight. I was literally in flight and COVID happened. And I couldn't push back, which I'm glad I couldn't push back, because I had already done construction, you name it. But we went on and pushed through it, had a little delays because of COVID, but we opened up in November. Of 2020, been open for 3 months, and super excited about it. We're right in Lakewood Heights. It's called iwifresh Farm Oasis. It's a wellness center, and in that space, it's kind of a lot of people. I don't know if you're familiar with Jeju. Have you heard of Jeju in Atlanta?
I have.
So I like to say that we are a FUBU Jeju.
Okay.
So it's on the south side, so you can come in. You get reflexology. We have a sauna, body scrub, we have Reikis, we have sound therapy, we have an acupuncturist, a chiropractor. So there's 16 other small businesses that are under the umbrella of iwifresh Farm Oasis.
I'm going to have to ask you about that sound therapy. What's that about?
So it's a sound bath. So we have a certified therapist. What she does is she takes her Tibet bowls, all type of sounds. She has a gong, all of these type of sound vibration tools. And she's certified that actually when you go through it, the vibration that goes through your body is healing, very healing. You got to try it. It is amazing, very amazing.
Well, I would tell you, for one thing that I do know, modern science is modern only because of what we discover, right? And there's been some sciences that have been around for a long time that we're rediscovering. And it sounds like to me that you're actually tapping into, whether it's Eastern medicine, the continent of Africa, medicine, Western African. It sounds like it's worldly,
Yes.
And it sounds like you're bringing them all together.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that more and more people are discovering new ways of solving some of their challenges and issues. Before we start to wrap up, Yolanda, can you talk to us a little bit about not just iwi, but also what is next on the horizon for you? I mean, it sounds like you're a successful entrepreneur. You've got, a place where you've taken your passion, you've gotten behind it. You said, hey, I'm going to do this for a living. And now you're looking at the next what? Is the next what perfecting where you are now? What is that next what? Just so entrepreneurs and people who are looking to start and grow their own business can get an idea about how to pace themselves the right way.
Well, it is about perfecting. I think you got to have a operational plan. You need to always have a turnkey. I think turnkey business is so important to have because it makes it easy for your overhead where you don't have to hire a lot of people because you have a turnkey. So it's easy for anybody to come in and be able to operate your business. So I think, actually, very perfecting and fine tuning that turnkey. But one of the things we're doing the turnkey for is because I want to be able to duplicate iwifresh. So I'm in the process of franchising the iwifresh spa. Okay. So that's part of that turnkey is being able to take that turnkey and have iwifresh sustainable self-care farm to skin spa everywhere. Wow. So people can be able to own, and that's creating generational wealth for me too. So I want to be able for people to own their own iwifresh spa.
Well, we had one on one of our other shows. We had Leslie Zen from Arden's Garden on, and she was talking about how she was breaking down doors, getting into Whole Foods as well, and how, it was challenging for her in the beginning. You're in Whole Foods now, right? And I'm sure you're looking to possibly expand that, to your point, perfecting what you already have. And I think that's something that many entrepreneurs may jump to ship, if you will, before perfecting their own craft, right? And sometimes it's best to perfect that craft, stay in the lane where you are, make it yours, own it, copyright it, right?
Yes, copyright it.
Talk to us about that, Yolanda. Talk to us about that.
Oh, yeah. You got to copyright. You have to copyright your stuff. You got to trade. You got to make sure all your stuff is legal. So you can protect yourself. It's all about protecting, because if you're like me, you plan to go big. So if you're going big, you need to be protected. I think a lot of times entrepreneurs, they just jump in it and they just want it and they go, but they don't look at all the legal pieces that you got to protect your business. You got to make sure you have the right insurance so you can protect yourself for anybody that may want to sue you. You got to copyright your logo, your names. You got to make sure all that stuff is protected. And when you go into a Whole Foods, I mean, that's one of the good things about going to Whole Foods, like Leslie says, is they have a very strenuous plan for you to go in. They just don't let anybody just up in there. You have to go in there with all your documents, all your business. Everything has to be in order before you can get on that shelf. So you have to really want to make sure that you are planning all of that now before you're doing your products. And one of the things I always like to tell entrepreneurs is that less is more. Sometimes we think we should do a lot more, but I think if you stay narrow and just know and perfect your one thing or two things very small, you will move further. I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way.
but it's something you get wisdom from learning the hard way, right? You actually get to say, hey, I learned how to do this then. I'm going to do it differently now. Now, I would tell you one thing that a lot of people are starting to take advantage of is really trying to find ways of marketing their products, trying to find ways in which people can say, hey, I have this particular product. I have iwi out here. How do people hear and learn more and more about what you are as a business, who you are as a business, and how can they be a part and participating with some of your businesses?
Yeah. So one, we have our website, which is www.iwifresh.com, which is iwifresh. You can go on all these social media handles and Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, you name it. We are iwifresh, iwifresh.
Yeah, I think so you're like 30,000 folks following you on the EB now, right?
Yes. We have some really, really good followers. I've been so blessed to have people that are really committed to supporting me, supporting iwifresh. People are really on the health journal of knowing that it's not just about what you put in your body, but it's about what you put on your largest organ of your body, which is your skin. So that is really my passion. That's what I'm all about. They call me the skincare farm chef. Because I'm always in the kitchen and on the farm making all these skincare recipes. But we love for people to join us. I just got a DM the other day from Instagram where a young lady says she wants to be a model for us. She wants to work with us. One of the things I do at iwi is that when you come on board, you have to put farm hours in. So when you come on board, any and everybody, including me, CEO, COO, anybody, you have to go and you have to put farm hours in. You got to go to the farm and you got to help them to maintain the farm, weeding, all that stuff. So you have to put farm hours in, but we love to have people come on board. We get a lot of great people that want to be a part of iwi, and I'm super excited about that.
Yolanda, tell me one last question. What is probably something that you discovered about your business or one of your products, and you weren't trying to discover it, but you made it something of your own?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
I don't know if I had that one before. Let's see what I have discovered. What have I discovered about a product that I didn't know about?
Yeah, or you didn't know it. You may have said, hey, this produces this type of results, and you found out it produces something else. Just
okay.
Like, your grandmother, she came about the products that helped to solve the challenge with eczema.
Yeah.
Most people didn't know that. Is there a product that you have that you probably say, hey, this works here, but it also works in another area?
Absolutely. So I have this new product, a product that I was creating. It was really for dark circles, for, dark marks around the face that I had created. And I just realized that, and I'm about to repivot it because it actually works, because I didn't know. One of my employees told me that it actually works for when you wear these masks for COVID. So yes. You know how we're wearing the mask and a lot of people are breaking out because of the mask. Well, this particular serum that I was making for dark circles, I am now about to remarket it for COVID mask.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Wow.
So it's made with blackberry and I'm using it and I'm using it for that. Elderberry is made with blackberry and elderberry. And so I'm repivoting it. So now I didn't know that I made for dark circles actually works for right around here for the mask. So that was something that I just found out.
Well, I would tell you something. I'm gonna give you something. You may have already come about this in some form or fashion. Mary thought about it. As you were talking, I was thinking about my mother. My mother had sold Avon products and Mary Kay products. You ever thought about an iwi product, almost like a consultant who actually goes out to different places to market iwi products?
Yeah, I have. I just gotta. It's a lot. That's another business.
Yes, I know. I'm just adding to it.
But I have. But that's another business. So I'm trying to,
yes.
I got to stay in my lane, and
you got to perfect it first.
I like that, but I got to figure out how to do that. Where it's not going to be taxing on me to do that. But yeah, that's come to me several times.
Well, I would tell you, when we have a chance to talk to Cassius, we always come up with different innovative ways of trying to expand your business. But I'll go ahead and give you that one for free. You go ahead and use that one.
All right.
Go ahead and take
it. You got to give me some help with it too.
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on with us today, Yolanda. It's been really, really enlightening, and also really looking forward to actually coming to learn more about your products. I mean, this is a great time. COVID has really changed a lot, but it has also positioned us to look into the things that we're passionate about. Yeah. And it sounds like something you have taken your passion, you're taking it to another place. You're scaling up. So I want to thank you for coming on with us today. Any last words you'd like to say before we go?
Yeah, I would like everybody to know to watch CNN this Saturday at 12 noon. They're going to have a small feature of me and how I pivoted through COVID. We were supposed to be on 3 weeks ago, but we keep getting bumped by breaking news. So hopefully we won't get bumped by the breaking news this Saturday at 12 noon on CNN.
On CNN. Well, listen, I'm going to tune in, and we're going to make certain I'll tell everyone else to tune in too as well. We want to continue to support you. Listen, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to having you back. All right.
I will. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us today for another episode with Talk to Cassius. And as you've heard today from Yolanda, you follow your passion, you'll be certain never to become lost. But you got to follow your passion first. So keep going on that trail. We look forward to seeing you next time.